Good Thursday morning to you and yours. It is time for Our Town here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swinson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. A little later on in the program, we'll have our monthly conversation with Decorah City Manager Travis Goedken. We'll also talk to Hannah Tulgren. Dreaming of Fields is an event that will be taking place this Saturday at Pulpit Rock in Decorah, and we'll talk to Hannah about that and some other fun stuff that will be taking place at Pulpit in Decorah this summer. But first things first, it's Family Fun Night at the Decorah Public Library tonight. They're teaming up with the Decorah Area Chamber of Commerce for that night, which coincides with Lawn Chair Night this evening. And we will preview that event and talk about other fun stuff going on at the library this summer with Rachel Button from the Decorah Public Library. She will be our first guest this morning as we open up Our Town. And you're listening to it on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. Coming up tonight is Family Fun Night at the Decorah Public Library, and Rachel Button is with us from the Public Library. And Rachel, I know you're partnering with the Chamber of Commerce for this event. Tell us about what's going to be taking place tonight and all the fun people can have.
Yeah, so we're so excited to be co-hosting with the Chamber. Slapdash Bluegrass is coming, which is going to be this family-friendly, kid-friendly band. We're also going to have things like bubbles and chalk, and the idea is just to create a very festive atmosphere where people can bring their kids and hang out.
And from the library perspective, what type of things will you guys be involved with and maybe showing off your facility?
Yeah, so for this particular event, because it's an outdoor event, it won't take place at the library, but we will be bringing some things to play with. So we'll be bringing some bubbles that people can blow during the performance. We'll be bringing some sidewalk chalk. We'll be bringing our summer reading schedule and some of our information about events happening at the library this summer. And then we're also financially partnering with the chamber for this event.
You throw in bubbles, you throw in sidewalk chalk. That equals fun, right?
I hope so.
And tell us about the events going on at the library this summer. You got this event coming on tonight, but it's always busy at the library, and there's always a lot of things going on. It's a tremendous resource for our community. Tell us about some of the events that will be taking on place throughout the summer.
Yeah, we're so excited to be doing our summer reading program. The theme this year is Find Your Voice. So actually partnering for the concert is right on brand with the summer reading theme. There'll be weekly big family events through the middle of July. So we'll have things like Iowa State University is bringing their insect zoo. The Mississippi River Museum is bringing stingrays. Eagle Bluff is bringing snakes. So lots of fun things, lots of performers, lots of animals. We'll also be doing weekly movies. So if you are looking for something that you can do that's very low key in an air conditioned space with popcorn, come see a movie at the library on a Thursday. So it should be a really fun summer. And we also have summer reading challenges, of course, like that's a very typical thing. And for those, we're partnering actually with the Decorah pool. So if you complete a summer reading challenge, you can have a free day at the pool, which is great.
And is this organization of these events, is this kind of a part of maybe promoting a library in a different way? Obviously, library is a little different than when I was growing up a million years ago, but how do you go about still utilizing this tremendous community resource in a different world than what it was 20-some years ago?
Yeah, so we really see the library as a community center. We see it as a wonderful resource to showcase not just books, but also like lots of free resources available to the folks in the city of Decorah. We do a lot of partnering with other organizations like the Chamber and Parks and Rec, and we really want it to be an inviting, hospitable, fun space. So we're not, we joke that we're not a hushing library. We're a library where we want people to come in and have fun and enjoy themselves. And of course, like be considerate of the people around them, but we want it to be a community space that's welcoming to children and teenagers.
And that non-hushing thing probably could have saved me a few times back in the day when I was growing up. But how important is it you just keep that reading, that mind development, that creativity flowing, especially in the summer months with kids being out of school.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something we talk a lot in library world about the summer slide and about the fact that a lot of kids lose learning in the summer. We're really fortunate in this area that our schools are strong and our families are strong and that there's a lot of great resources available. So we don't see that, I think, in the same way some other schools do. But what we really, really are trying to do at the library is to create an opportunity for those resources and to really encourage kids to cultivate not only their reading skills, but also their curiosity. We want lifelong learners and we want people who are engaged with books and the library for their whole life. So if you're reading all your assigned books all through the school year, maybe during the summer you figure out you really love graphic novels or you really love Marvel superheroes or any of those things. And we want books that showcase that in the library too, with the hope that you're still reading when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and you're still coming to the library and enjoying the space and finding things that you're passionate about and that connect with what you love.
And there is that reading for the assignment purposes that you do when it's schools, but there's that reading for enjoyment things and getting people to transition from one to the other. I know it helped me eventually. I figured it out too late for my academic career, but figuring it out eventually just kind of helps you be a happier person, in my opinion. I'm assuming you would agree.
Yeah, we want people who are excited about things and passionate about things and that see those passions reflected in our collection. So we also encourage kids and adults that if there's something that you're really like enjoying or nerding out about and you're not seeing it on our shelf, like let us know and we can maybe bring it in or get it from another library.
And what's the best way people can keep track of all the stuff going on at the library?
So our public library website is decorahlibrary.org, and we have a calendar on that website, and there's also our catalog on that website. We're also on Facebook, Instagram. If you're somebody who's on TikTok, it's not the best way for keeping up with events, but we have some really funny and engaging content. So if you're looking for a laugh, that's a good spot to find us too.
All right. Give us another reminder of what's coming up tonight as part of Family Fun Night.
Yeah. So tonight we're partnering with the Chamber. There's going to be a family concert outdoors, and we're going to have activities for kids. And we're so excited to get to co-host with them and really grateful to have great community partners.
And what time does all the fun start tonight?
The fun starts at 6 p.m.
Well, the fun starts when the library opens, but this specific event.
We're hoping the fun never stops this summer. Really, that's the goal.
Exactly. Rachel, we appreciate you taking some time telling us about not only this event, but the library, everything going on at the library this summer. Best of luck with the event here tonight. And thanks for you and everybody and the positive impact you make on our community.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate getting a chance to chat.
Rachel Button from the Decorah Public Library Family Fun Night is tonight. Coming up this Saturday at Pulpit is Dreaming of Fields Day. And here to talk about that day is Hannah Tulgren with Pulpit Rock. And Hannah, tell us about the day coming up on Saturday. Looks like kind of an all-encompassing day.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day. Dreaming of Fields is a project that Pulpit has been working on for the past couple years here before COVID started. And it's a project that kind of encompasses working with local farmers, local grains, small grains, and really an ode to all hardworking farmers. So we're using those products in our beer, such as corn or wheat. And we really try to focus on, locally grown grains, but also, reaching out to other farms, maybe larger farms that are working on conservation efforts, water quality, soil quality, things like that.
And let's focus on the four things that really your press release talks about, the conversations with local farmers. What will people learn by going to this event?
Yeah, so it focuses a lot on regenerative farming, which, is a lot of like no-till practices, cover crops, less use of pesticides or fertilizer, and really focusing on soil quality, which creates a more biodiverse, soil, better for growing, better for erosion, things like that. And so we have we'll have some informational stuff available for reading along the site here at Pulpit, as well as we'll have the Iowa State Conservation Station here. So really family focused as well too. So if you want to, bring your kids and learn a little bit about these farming practices that a lot of people are kind of, I think, taking a liking to here in the future, looking at our water quality and soil quality.
And tell us about the Iowa State Conservation Station. What can people of all ages learn by stopping by there?
Yeah, I'm actually super interested in learning more about it too. They kind of reached out to us and to see if we, would like to bring it. It's going to be interactive. So a lot of you can bring your kids up. You can learn about soil quality, water quality, things like that. I think they're going to have a few demonstrations as well. So kind of some hands-on interactive pieces to it. But I'm interested in seeing kind of what it all looks like as well. So.
Sounds like a neat idea. And of course, any event has to have some food, and that's going to be available on Saturday as well.
Yep. We'll have the cattlemen here, and then also the moo-mobile. So hamburgers, some milkshakes, and then and of course beer as well. So yeah.
And it's almost like you were looking at my crib notes here. It's Pulpit Rock, so we got to talk about beer. You got a couple of new beers coming out this weekend?
Yeah, we will. So we'll have 2 new beers that are highlighted in our Dreaming of Fields project. So Honest Work and the Upper Iowa Common, which we've had the Upper Iowa Common before, so it's almost a re-release, but it has a new corn variety in it. So Honest Work has Miller Malting products in it, which is out of Cascade, Iowa, and then Jimmy Red Corn from Brandt Family Farms in Carroll, Ohio. And then the Upper Iowa Common re-release, that's a Kentucky Common, so kind of like a dark cream ale, that'd be the best way to describe it. But that one's got blue Claridge corn from Brandt Family Farms, and then also Miller Malting products as well.
What are the hours of this event coming up on Saturday? What are the hours of this event coming up?
Oh, yes. Yep. So from 12 to 5, we'll open at noon, and things will kind of be starting from then on until 5, and, welcome to hang out. We have just added music as well from 1 to 3. So we'll have a bluegrass band here from 1 to 3, kind of outside if weather's nice, looking like it is going to be rather nice. So we'll also have music.
And tell us, I guess, you got this day coming up on Saturday. Of course, always fun things happening at Pulpit, whether it's a formal event there or not. What else you guys got planned for the summer?
Yeah, so lots of music. We'll have music almost every single Friday. So you can expect that on the patio if weather is nice, if not in our event room here where I'm sitting. And then also, coming up on 8 years. So in August, we'll celebrate our 8th anniversary, which we're super excited for. We always throw kind of a fun event on that day. So that's kind of what we're gearing up towards. And then on the 4th of July, we have our Pulpit to Pulpit 5K fun run and walk. So we're super excited for that as well. And
can people sign up for that now?
Yep, they can sign up for that. I have an event on our Facebook page, which will take them to a link to the sign up page for that.
All right. We appreciate you taking some time, Hannah. Give us one final information or one final rundown of the information on Dreaming of Fields Day coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, Dreaming of Fields Day at Pulpit Rock from 12 to 5. Lots of fun things, including 2 new beers. And the conservation station, as well as the moo-mobile and cattlemen. It'll be a great time, and we're excited to see everyone.
Hannah, we appreciate the time. Enjoy the day coming up on Saturday, and enjoy the summer at Pulpit Rock. Always a good time when you stop by there.
Yes, thanks so much.
Hannah Tulgren from Pulpit, Dreaming of Fields Day, coming up this Saturday from noon until 5. Time now for our monthly conversation with the city manager of Decorah, Mr. Travis Goedken. As usual, a lot of things to get to. And Travis, first things first, some police chief finalists have been announced.
That's right, Darren. The council has narrowed it down to 4 candidates. They include Scott Birch out of the Sheldon Police Department. He's the police chief there. Scott Herman, who is the assistant chief here in Decorah, as well as Michael Moracek, who is a field training coordinator with the FBI Kansas City office, and Trisha Tyne, who is a lieutenant with the Marshalltown Police Department.
And tell us about the process that will take place when it comes to letting those candidates meet community members and being interviewed.
Yes, so this process is going to look very similar to when I was hired myself and back when Dave was appointed police chief as well. So Friday night, June 16th, starting at 4:30 p.m. in the lobby of the Hotel Winneshiek, there will be a public reception that community members can come, meet, talk with the candidates. And then Saturday is when the bulk of the interview process will happen, several different panels involved. And given the slate of candidates we have, the testing will be limited to basically a psychological test that's required.
And from the 17th on, what is the timeline for potentially appointing a replacement?
I think realistically, we're looking at the first council meeting in July for a formal appointment, because even as we exit the interviews, this is a mayoral appointment, so it does have to be a agenda posted item. That'll also give Jeff Kaler of Kaler Consulting time to finalize the full background check and make sure we're all good to go.
And when is Chief Smutzler's last day on the job, and will the city have to appoint an interim chief potentially in an interim time between Chief Smutzler's retirement and the new person taking over?
So Chief Smutzler, his last day is June 30th. And I don't anticipate that we need to appoint an interim chief position. Assistant Chief Herman and the department as a whole very well qualified to get us through until we can name that permanent chief position.
You passed a resolution amending the 28E agreement with the Rural Fire Association. The council did last night, and it's a little bit more of money coming into the city from what I understand. Summarize that agreement for us.
Yes, so a little bit more. The most recent years, it's been this past year was 44,000. Years prior to that, pretty steady at $40,000 per year. But this year, we are going to $50,000. Now, Rural Fire does contribute in addition to that for different pieces of equipment, and there's some cost sharing throughout the year as well. They pay for their own insurance and supplies for their own apparatus that they own. But the way this agreement is structured, it's so that we don't have to have this conversation year after year after year. So we set it at $50,000 for the fiscal year we're entering into, and then it will adjust by the CPI for the next 4 years after that. So we'll have a total 5-year agreement in place.
You had discussion regarding the city's fee structure. It's something that did not pass last night. What was the discussion, and where does this issue stand right now?
Yeah, so the 2 items, and one of which with the police department, there were really only 3 fees that were proposed to be adjusted by $5. And so that was some of the discussion was, is an increase of $5 sufficient for the time it takes to create these recreate these documents and get them sent out for the requesting party. But conversely, the other fees discussed were the building permit and rental permit programs that, when established, the emphasis was that it's not a property tax subsidized, for lack of a better term, but that property tax revenues are not used to fund those programs. And so we're looking at adjusting those fees slightly so that we can keep up with ensuring that the programs do not utilize property tax revenues.
You held discussion on a donation regarding sunflower last night, and this is a little bit different than a contribution you made to the Sunflower Child Care Center. This council did about a year and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken. Explain what went on regarding that.
Mm-hmm. So this particular item was a request that was made from Sunflower to the Sustainability Commission towards a specific exhibit within the Discovery Center. They want to purchase a watershed exhibit that will replicate the Upper Iowa River watershed. And the Sustainability Commission believes that does help meet some of their goals within the plan. And the council reserves the authority for sustainability funds. So any request that Sustainability Commission wants to pay has to go to the council for approval.
And the council approved that, correct?
That they did.
You talked food trucks. Where's that at?
Yep. We did discuss food trucks again. There was some conversation, some comments from the public as well regarding food trucks. There were 2 draft ordinances, one that would allow by a special event permit only. So using our existing special event permit, check an extra box that you're going to have food trucks, how many, that sort of thing. And then the other would allow for the special event permit or by licensing. So that'd be very similar to anybody coming into the office for a peddler's permit or a building permit. That does not take council action to issue. That's just issued out of this office here. Again, lots of discussion, but it was a discussion item only, no action. And I'm tracking down a path of special event permit only. I think that's where council wanted to go. And so that's what I'm honing in the program itself with those documents. But if you recall during last night at the meeting, ended with, I will wait to put this on the council agenda until 2 council members tell me to, because that is our rules and procedures.
And you discussed municipal elections, and I guess this is something that I recalled once you brought it up, but you had to tell me for it to recall. Maybe that's the way my mind works. I don't know, but Decorah is a city with a runoff provision when it comes to council seats. If you don't get 50% plus 1 vote, it goes to a runoff election. So that being said, potentially that adds some cost if 2 or more people are interested in a council seat. Where did that discussion go?
Mm-hmm. So you're right, Darren. That's exactly it. If it's not 50% plus 1 for a clear vote winner, it would require another election of the top 2 candidates till you get to 50% plus 1. And ultimately, the council, even though we did not have a majority of the council as a whole providing that direction, as we had 2 council members absent last night, 3 out of the 5 present said we're good with continuing with runoff election. It has not been an issue in the past, or excuse me, not an issue, but it hasn't been required in most recent years because 50% plus 1 has always been achieved in the regular election.
So is that thing going anywhere? Is it going to be furtherly discussed, or was it just something you brought up to make people aware of?
It was, something that the county auditor, Ben Steinis, made sure that, we were aware and wanted to know if it was something we wanted to consider. So yeah, we put it in front of council and said, just want to make sure you're aware. It hasn't come up in the last 15 years or so, but just wanted to make sure that the council's aware that this is what's required. And unless we change the rules of our election, we could have this extra couple $1,000 expense for this runoff election.
The city finally has a board of appeals after a year plus of that board being formally established. First of all, tell us the purpose of that board and how'd you finally get people to serve?
Yes, Darren, you're right. So after, I bet it's been nearly 2 years since that board was established it was adopted along with the Decorah building code. So once we established that program, what's ironic is this is a board of appeals with 5 spots that we've been trying to get filled actively for the last several months. And we had 6 applicants last night. So that was pretty ironic for us. The way we got those filled out was very much a lot of pressure from staff on, we'll go as far as to say begging and pleading, please fill these out. We need people on this board. And the requirements are such that you need to be a person with knowledge of building codes, because that's what this board is responsible for. If the building official makes a decision based on applying building code, and somebody disagrees with the building official's decision, this is the board they go to appeal that decision. So the people on this board have to have knowledge of building code.
Any other openings on city boards or commissions right now?
We do have one right now. Mark Branham, who's been on the Historic Preservation Commission for some time, has stepped down, and so the rest of his seat, that vacancy needs to be filled. I believe that expires June of 24, so it would be about a year-long commitment before you'd have to re-up for a full appointment. And so that position's currently open.
Anything we're missing? Anything else up your sleeve besides big muscles?
No, Darren, I think, the big thing I want to make sure the public was aware of, again, that public forum for the police chief candidates, that will be Friday, June 16th at 4:30 p.m. at the Hotel Winneshiek.
And I guess I'll ask one more question, because I know the first Monday in July is July 3rd, July 4th. Everyone's going to be off. Are you still planning on having a council meeting on July 3rd?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. July 3rd is still a council meeting date. And, I should also point out that June 19th is the third Monday of the month. Mm-hmm. And even though it is a federal holiday, it's one that hasn't been established here in Decorah yet. And so we will have a council meeting on Monday, June 19th as well.
All right. Good things to keep in mind. Travis, we appreciate the time and the information as always. Look forward to talking to you in the month of July.
Thank you, Darren. Appreciate the opportunity.
Travis Goedken, City Manager of Decorah. A thank you to our guest on the program, Rachel Button from the Decorah Public Library. Rachel will be a part in the public library, going to be a part of Family Fun Night at the library tonight, coinciding with Lawn Chair Night in the downtown area. Hannah Tulgren, the marketing manager from Pulpit Rock Brewery. Hannah told us about Dreaming of Fields event taking place noon until 5, all sorts of stuff going on. You got food, you got displays, you got farmers there to talk about their practices. And of course, it's Pulpit, so you got beer coming up Saturday from noon until 5, bringing the whole family, because all sorts of fun things will be taking place. And we always appreciate Travis Goedken, the city manager of Decorah, taking time to tell us what's going on in the city of Decorah. Don't forget, each and every week we put these shows on YouTube. We realize you're busy, and as summer gets here, you're even going to be that much more busy. When you're busy, sometimes you don't have time to tune in to a streaming device or a radio at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning. But we want you to get to listen to the interesting people we get to talk to on a daily basis. And we put these shows up on YouTube. If you go out to YouTube, go to 68 Our Town Program under the search bar. That's a great way to put up the information, or search for the information for that matter. Or we put up these links on all of our LA Communications Facebook pages, including 94.9 and 99.1 The River. Bluff Country 103.5 KNEI, Hawk Rock 100.5, and Classic Hits 104.7 KVIK. Another way we try to connect us to the community, because that's what it's all about in our business here at LA Communications. Thank you to our guest. Thank you to our sponsor, Decorah Bank and Trust. And most importantly, absolutely most importantly, we thank you for tuning in, for logging on, or for watching our town. Right here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.